morning, everybody. Welcome back to Waffles RC. We are finishing the 4Runner. So I've done a couple things just off camera because I got focused on it and just kept going. So the first thing, thanks to your comments, we have a winch, which will be going on the front. Honestly, it was going to get a winch all along because the 4Runner, our 4Runner, the big one, has a winch. So it was going to get it no matter what, but thank you guys. The winch, oh yeah, so this is all torn apart because I'm going to do a full weld out on it. So the winch is going to sit on these two plates that I put right here, just like that. So that way it's going to be tucked up. Wire will come out and through the front bumper, which we're going to get to next. So that sits there. Yes, it clears the motor, just barely, but it clears it. I also got the back part of the cage done. Body sits right here, and this whole little roll cage will help protect the body when it rolls over. And it does look kind of funny. Almost looks like a little off-road buggy just as it sits. Next thing we're going to get to is the front bumper. Oh, and I have to drill new holes in the frame. I'm just going to go straight through the frame rail to move the rear shocks down just a little bit. That way they still have that angle for lots of articulation, but then the truck will then sit level. That's the main goal that I'm going for here. So to do the front bumper, I'm just going to do a 2-bumper, nothing fancy. Just have a little fair lead. I'm going to take the weird looking one that's on this. It looks like little teeth or something, so that's going away. Just a plain fair lead that'll go on the front bumper somewhere. Don't know where yet, but we will figure that out. This is almost ready for a full weld out and then paint because everything fits, everything works. Just need to fully weld it out. Now, most importantly, I know what you guys are waiting for: the body. It is painted and it looks really good. And no, I did not paint it, which is why it looks really good. So let me go get the body and I'll show you guys the beauty that will sit on top of this frame. Here is the gorgeous body. It was painted by the one and only Mrs. Waffles at RC. Yes, I just called her that. I thought it was funny. Oh look, now you can't even tell that it's an RC because everything's tucked away. But that is one good looking body. She did a great job at matching the color between this one and the real one. I added a few little touches to make it look more like ours. Lights on the top. Small little LED lights for RC cars are not as small as you would think, so probably not going to run them. And this is more reminiscent of a TRD Pro roof rack, which we do not have. We also don't have a snorkel yet. It will happen. That is the body in all its completion. So now I just have to make a front bumper, try to make it look somewhat good, keep it tucked up out of the way. So I'll show you how I'm going to conform it around the body. Then I'm just going to make stuff up as I go and see if I can make something that looks good. So all I'm going to do is take this piece of cardboard, put the front end on it, relatively center, and without getting marker on it, just going to trace it out. So now I have the basic shape to be able to get it to fit around the body real nice. So I'm going to bend up a main tube or rod, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to bend this to look like that and start building off of it from there. Here's our original shape, and there's the main hoop for the bumper. I'm just gonna start adding stuff, see what looks good. Gotta figure out something for the fair lead, but I will be right back and this will all be done. Okay, here's the front bumper. Not the prettiest thing I've ever made, but it will do. Got the fair lead on here, and I made some little tabs for D-rings, because that has D-rings. Unfortunately, these are going to be red, but that's the only color I can find in RC stuff, so it'll just have to do. Now, with the body on it, oh, that is what it looks like. It doesn't stick out too far. Comes up enough. Remember, there's still going to be an axle and stuff there. Winch line will come out of here, connect to one of the D-rings, and that'll have a winch. Did the fun little hoop because, well, why not? Extra protection. See? All about protection and scale points. All that's next is to fully weld out that. So let's get to welding. There we are. It is all welded up. Does look like a little buggy without the body on it. It's kind of funny. Now that it's all welded, it needs to be painted. So I'm going to do a quick dirty paint job, go eat lunch, and then reassemble this thing. It's not good, but it's good enough. It's going to be under the body. I don't really care. I wiped it down with alcohol, so should help it a little bit, but it's going to be black and covered. And always make sure you're painting in the wind, because that helps. Alright, well, just ate lunch. It was quite delicious. The frame is drying, so while that dries, I'm going to go through, Loctite, and grease all of this, so that way this will all be ready to put back under the frame once it's done drying. Okay, so I time-lapsed the rear axle. I already did the front axle. I did not video that because, well, that was already a minute and a half of time lapse, so I'm sure you guys might get bored of 5 minutes of watching me go really fast. Anyhow, another top tip for you guys. If you get anything that has gears in it, always assume that they don't have grease in them, because they don't. If you get a transfer case or a transmission, always take them apart, because you have to Loctite all the bolts that are holding them together, for one. But two, they literally put just a tiny little dab of grease on one of the gears, maybe. So the bigger name companies make grease theirs a little bit better. The more affordable ones like these don't really grease them. I don't know for certain that the big name companies do that, because I can't afford them, so I wouldn't know. But when I got my Traxxas, when it was brand new, when I took it apart, it had a decent amount of grease in the front and rear diff, but not a whole lot. So grease, Loctite, everything that has a gear in it. Okay, here's the frame. It is not entirely dry, but I am very impatient, so I'm going to start reassembling this thing, because I want it back together and done. It can dry later. So while I most likely destroy this lovely paint job that I just did by putting all this together right now because of impatience, if you're still watching this, then that means you are one of the many subscribers that watch these videos all the way through. Instead of complaining about views like I have on the last 2 videos, I realized there's a more productive thing that I can do with the platform that has been given to me. Instead of being upset at views, I want to thank a few people. A few of you subscribers, very loyal subscribers. Basically, just want to say thank you very much. You have no idea how awesome it is to have all of you guys watching these videos all the time and commenting all the time. That's the coolest part. Giving good ideas, just being nice. It really is incredible to think that this is where I'm at right now with this fun hobby that I'm doing. So just to name a few, I'm not being selective, so if you don't hear your name, don't think anything of it. It's just the name that I happen to choose at this particular moment. First and foremost would be Mr. Willie Nell. Mr. Willie Nell comments on almost every single, well, not on almost, sorry, let me rephrase that. You comment on every video, and it's always a positive comment. And me and my wife always look out for your comments, just so you know. So I wanted to say thank you very much. Same with Mr. Andrew Ritchie. You leave comments on every single video, and it's always very positive. And we always look for your comments, especially when we're sitting there waiting to read through the end of the comments where it says peace and chicken grease. It's absolutely awesome. We look forward to it every single time. So I just wanted to say thank you for the positiveness, the awesome comments. We look forward to it every time. And last but not least, Iceman. You don't know it, Iceman, but you have a competition going. And by competition, we're not keeping score. We don't know who's winning. But it pretty much is a race every single week to see if you or my wife will watch the video first. So you always also leave very positive, very kind comments, and I really appreciate it, and just thought I'd let you know that you are in a competition, whether you like it or not, or know about it or not. Now, is there a winner in this competition? I have no idea, but it's funny. So I'm going to keep going with this because I think I just did it wrong. So I got to double check that. And thank you all very much. Loyal subscribers, I really appreciate it. So let me put this all back together and then we'll show you the finished product. Well, that is the most tedious process ever of getting everything where it's supposed to be. There's our winch. As you can see, just clears the motor, goes underneath, comes out the fair lead there. But that is all together. Now it's sitting high in the back, but there's no battery in it. And when it starts driving, the front lifts up, so it should level out pretty nicely. So let's get the body on it and take her for a little drive. Now, we got to do a better reveal than that. Well, there it is, all finished. And of course, had to bring the hauler out to debut it. Front bumper turned out quite nicely. It'll be tucked up out of the way. Front tires don't touch it. This is a good looking RC, and exactly, well, close enough to exactly like that. That's exactly what I wanted. So this one's all wrapped up. Now we just gotta take it out with the white one. Oh, speaking of the white one, broke an axle shaft because I put 2.2 wheels and 5-inch tires on it, and yeah, had a little too much fun and snapped an axle shaft. So we'll fix that, then we'll take them out. I hope you all enjoyed this series with the 4Runner. It's been kind of a roller coaster, but finally got it done. So we're gonna get it out, go have some fun with it, roll it, because it's what it's gonna do. Well, it's what I'm gonna do, and my wife. She'll break it, I'll roll it. Whole point is to go out and have fun. Next week, hopefully you'll see an episode where we take these out, plus the big trucks. I gotta do those too. Well, I have to fix one of them, but we're gonna try to take the full-size Tacoma and 4Runner with the Tacoma and the 4Runner RCs out, and we're gonna have some fun, try and practice my cinematography, which I shouldn't even call it that, my videotaping skills. So we'll see how that turns out. So from Waffles RC, we will see you next time.